Hello friends, and welcome to another video. In this video I want to share with you ways that you can increase sales on stock libraries. Now, title is very important. Description is very important. Tags and keywords are very important. You can take this a step further by analyzing the tracks that you have already uploaded and see how they're performing in different libraries. Now, if you're new to this, and you have no music on any libraries, or you're just considering getting started in music licensing, download my free guide, link in the description. But this applies for you, the beginner, and for the experienced composer as well. So assuming that you have already music out there, some libraries will allow you to change the title, to update the details of your music. And this is something that you should certainly experiment with all music tracks and try to change the titles. At times, when we are writing music, especially if you have old tracks in certain libraries, you might have come up with this title that you thought it was good, but then for some crazy reason, this music track is not selling, okay? Now, you cannot change the music. The music has already been uploaded, it's there, even though some libraries will allow you to update the file and everything, but it still needs to go through some type of a review. But I'm talking here just about metadata and titles and descriptions and tags. So changing the title is a great strategy in order to increase sales of your music track, especially old tracks that have no sales. So I've done this over the years, and libraries like Pond5, I mean even Audio Jungle, but Pond5 certainly a library that have done that. Again, not every library will allow you to change the title, so this applies for certain libraries, but most of the libraries will allow you to update the description and the title and the tags and the keywords and everything. Why would you want to do this? Well, because if you have a track that is old and is still a product, you know, I treat music as a product, you should be able to update it and just put something that is a little bit more relevant to your music, especially when it's a track that has been sitting there for some time. Plenty of time has passed from the moment you compose that track, so you are really detached from that music. You probably don't even remember making that music track. I mean, this is something that I go through on a regular basis, and and I listen to old music tracks, and I see the title, and I say, like, I'm sure I can do something better than titling my track inspirational, I don't know, motivational music. Right, so we need to be a little bit more creative and maybe play around with certain titles and see if that is going to help the music track be found. Because it's all about the music being found inside the library. Okay, so experiment with that. I mean, this is something that I got this is an insight that I got from Mike. He was the head of music on Pond5, and I had a conversation with him many years ago. And it's something that he mentioned, that on Pond5, you should certainly update your titles if you feel that a music track is not where it needs to be in terms of sales, in order to be found as well in the library. So, and obviously this goes as well for the description. If you can do a better job now with descriptions, then you should certainly update your descriptions. But on Pond5, it's a great example that you should update your titles if a track is just sitting there and it's not doing anything. But I mean, I remember at one point when the whole COVID-19 started to happen back in 2020, even on Audio Jungle, I saw people updating their titles from old tracks to coronavirus and whatnot. And I did a video about this back then. Because you can see on a library like Audio Jungle, you can see when this track was uploaded, and you can tell that it's a track that it was already old, and people were just updating the titles on Audio Jungle. So the people that were looking for track for music back then, when they will type coronavirus, this track, even though it's a 2 or 3 year old track, it will still appear in the search. It's kind of like a cheeky way of doing it. I mean, back then when I recorded that video, I was talking about that, it's a sad thing because we're trying to monetize on something that is bad. But that was in the early days of the pandemic, like the very early days. I mean, I think that was way before even the first lockdown. But I remember recording that video and talking about it, how people were updating their tracks to coronavirus. But hey, we're in the business of making music and making money with our music, so that's another way to to do it, right? But that's a great example, actually. I bring this up today because it's a great example of how to do it, and you can certainly update tracks in that way, okay? So try it out for yourself, see how it goes, and if you're an experienced composer, drop a line in the comment section if you have done this yourself, right? Like update the titles of your tracks, because I have done it. Actually, I was doing that this morning on Pond 5 on some old tracks, so it's the reason why I'm recording this video. I have a few old tracks here on Pond 5 that I was just updating. The very first track, actually, and I updated the description and the title, but just because it's old. It has some sales, but it's just an old track. So anyways, this is a quick video that I wanted to do. If you're new to this, don't forget to download my guide. And even if you're an experienced composer, download my free guide where I share the 7 steps on how to get started in music licensing by selling your music on stock libraries. Thank you so much for the love and support, my friend, and I'll see you in another video.